Dear Mr. Akuma, I'd like to hear your suggestions for dating with a man, because I always get silent with the dialogue. I was embarrassed and overwhelmed. What should I do? Thank you. It's a good question. I think, yeah, coming out of your comfort zone and being able to, like, interact with someone on a date can be really difficult, because being shy is something that many people really, really struggle with. Yeah, I'd say, like, try not to worry about it too much, because the more you think about it and the more you psych yourself out, the more likely you are to not know what to say. But also, I think that if you do go on a date, I think that letting the guy know before you go out and just saying, like, yo, I'm kind of, like, just being really honest and saying I'm kind of a quiet person, so I might not really know what to say all that often. Most dudes that I know would be completely fine with that. I mean, okay, something that men in particular really like to do is they love to talk about their interests. I think it's sort of a side effect of, you know, how much importance is put on, like, what men do for work, you know, like it's sort of a societal thing, and you can say, like, oh, you know, it's and I think there are some sort of, like, political things that you could say about it, but I'm not here to engage in any of that. What I'm here to say is that men love to talk about their interests, and they love to talk about their work. So what I would say is the best thing that you can do is ask a man to talk to you about something that he's thinking about, because they tend to have, like, a lot of thoughts going on. Just say, what do you do for work? What are your hobbies? What is this? What is that? If you're shy and you're really not sure what to say about about yourself, ask questions. Just think of something that you want to know about them. Even if you don't want to know it, it's so much easier for someone to talk to you if you ask them questions rather than just say, oh, like, if they ask you a question. Also, if they ask you a question, ask them one back. Say something that helps them sort of lead the conversation. So, for example, instead of them being like, how was your day? Instead of just being like, it's good. You know, it's pretty good. How about you? You should then say something interesting that happened in your day, and then maybe that will give them a chance to springboard off and say, oh, that's insane. And then when you've told a story, then you ask, like, then instead of asking, how was your day? You could maybe ask, do you have a story like that? And then suddenly it'll go on like that. So that's the best advice I can give for introverts, is that if you're struggling to interact with an extrovert, ask them questions. And if you're dating a man, ask him questions about his hobbies and his work, because most men that I know, at least, are really, really eager to talk about that shit. I mean, I know more than a dozen dudes who would talk your ear off about anything they're interested in, you know, at the drop of a hat. So it might not be great, but if you want to talk to them, that's how you do it. At least in my experience. I'm not a professional. Well, this kind of goes back to what I said about, like, the kind of people that I find attractive. I think that the things that always get me... Okay, maybe when I answered the last question, I might have been projecting a little bit, because the people that I like interacting with are the ones who talk like that. You know, either the ones who ask me questions about what I'm interested in, or the ones who have lots to say about their interests. Because the more that someone is sort of, like, consumed by their interests, the more that I respect them and the more that I want to get to know about them. Like, if they have a really, like, interesting job, or if they have a really, or if they have, like, an interesting hobby, or if they've got something like that, then fuck it, you know, like, that's the kind of thing that I really, really enjoy and that I find really attractive. So I tend to sort of get smitten with somebody a lot quicker if I feel like they have something other to do than to hang out with me. That kind of gets inside my head a little bit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? What was that thing? What's that audio from Family Guy, where I saw this TikTok where it was like when you see your male friend wearing gray sweatpants, and it's just Lois saying, "You're a very handsome man. You're a very handsome, funny man. Now let me see that penis." Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time.